Good afternoon. My name is Richard Kraneis, and today we're going to learn about PMBOK 5 and the 47 processes. As you may know, as of July 31st, 2013, the very next day, August 1st, 2013, you no longer need PMBOK 4. You need to know how to do PMBOK 5, the Project Manager Book of Knowledge, and the 47 processes, because it's gone from 42 to 47 from PMBOK 4 to PMBOK 5. First of all, who is Richard Kraneis? I am a PMP from Chicago, Illinois, USA, as of June 2013. It was a wonderful day passing the PMP. I wish you success also. I am a business analyst, project manager, SharePoint evangelist in Chicago, Illinois. I am a trainer of 10,000, but all that matters is if I teach you successfully today and if you have a good time. Later on, I can tell you how you can find me on LinkedIn. And currently my learning focus is passing the PMP, I did it, and getting even better with Microsoft SharePoint and getting certified with that. So today we're going to look at a brain dump or cheat sheet if you want for learning PMBOK 5 and the 47 processes. I'll show you what I did. Let's take a look at Excel. You want to be able to create a spreadsheet that looks like this. Well, actually what will happen at the Prometric exam, when you are taking the exam, you'll be given 15 minutes to study how to take the PMP. And what you need to do is burn through that in 2 minutes, and that will leave you 13 minutes or 12 minutes to actually do your PMP brain dump. If you've been taking classes for the PMP, you know that you need to do a brain dump for the processes and also for formulas. That'll be for another day. I know this is a bit small and you may have some trouble seeing it, but written on a piece of paper, this is what you need to be able to do. You will have a little trouble here. You will have something that has the 5 process groups and also the 10 knowledge areas, because with PMBOK 5 you now have 10 knowledge areas. Stakeholder management was added. You'll have that in addition to the usual 9. So how does this begin? Well, it begins with practice. You don't learn this overnight. So honestly, you need to practice learning how to scribble this on a piece of paper. What you'll need to do is teach yourself how to scribble on a piece of paper and have, this is 6 columns going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Why 6 columns? Because as a beginner, you will need to create a 6th column for this information right here, the knowledge areas. But getting back to step 1, what you need to do is do a simple margin right here, and then you need to accurately be able to draw all the different lines that you see here. Honestly, it's a skill. You have to teach yourself how to do it. So eventually, when I started doing all of this, I would have there's actually 7 columns, 6 big ones, and a 7th small one. And then you need to separate it up here and up here. Why? Because you'll begin to add things in. For 47 processes, this is a very useful thing. Hope you can see it up here. I will make it a little bit bigger for you. What you want to do is just type in or write on your brain dump that it's a 10 by 5 and that you've got 667, 434, 36, 44. Why that number? Because the 6, 6, 7, and so forth corresponds to how many processes you have in each knowledge group. You also need to learn integration, scope, and time. How do you do that? Well, in the bottom right-hand corner of the sheet, you need to learn this very early on, is just to memorize IST, CQH, CRP, S. That's down here. And that stands for all of the different knowledge areas that you need to learn. So you need to learn this, and you need to learn this. And you also you need to learn these items going up here. These are my learning acronyms. So the toughest one of all this is the planning group, and planning now has 24. So you'll need to learn the numbers 2 and 24 and 8 and 11 and 2. For me, that's always a checking method that whenever I practice this, and I practice the processes every couple of times a week, you need to know that you have 2, 24, 8, 11, and 2 as the number of processes for these process groups. Now up here in the planning area, it's the toughest of all of them. And for planning, you have 24 processes. But if it helps you, you have management in each one. So here you have develop project management, you have plan scope management, you have plan schedule management, you have plan cost management. So of the 24 processes here in this process group, 10 of them are planning, and the rest of it you just need to learn. What's with the CDC? Well, CDC stands for collect requirements, define scope, create WBS. Where do I get the D seed over here? Well, that's in this area, define activities, sequence, estimate, develop. And finally, I have IQQP, and that is for identify risks, qualitative, quantitative, and plan risk responses. So this is taken directly from PMBOK. Over here, ADM, you may need help with that. Basically, that means that you'll have ADM for acquire, develop, and manage a project team. And over here, I did the acronym MPVC. I always had trouble with that. And that's for monitor and control project work, perform integrated change control, validate, and control. So these are some of my learning tips. And when you put it all together and you start getting better with this, you'll find that all you need are really 5 big columns and a small one. Why? Because it's not necessary to write down integration, scope, all of this stuff, because after you study this sheet for a little while, you should rapidly remember the IST, CQH, CRP, S acronym. So over here for step 3, you just have to do 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a short one over here. You need to do a row up here because that's where you put in your hints, and the row over here. Don't forget that in this whole process, you want to remember the 10 by 5 over here and the IST down below. So when you get even better with this, what happens is that you'll build a sheet that looks like this. Notice the tiny column here where I'm not doing integration, scope, and time. I'm just saying IST, and I put the numbers as needed. Quite frankly, I don't worry about these numbers anymore because I've memorized them, but they'll be helpful to you. What I still do, even today, is I do I, P, E, MC, and C. For example, P is 24, and that's what I use. So this is what you're aiming to get. This is what you'll be able to accomplish. Whoops. You should be able to do this. I tested myself on this a couple days ago. I did it in 8.5 minutes. You need to be able to do it at least that good going into the Prometric exam for PMP. Why? Because you need another 3-4 minutes to do your formula charts. So we're heading in the home stretch here now. I hope that my advice and techniques have worked for learning PMBOK 5 and the 47 processes. Just something at the end for myself. This is Dad's learning videos. I hope you had fun. I always enjoy teaching people. And my name is Richard Kraneis. That's a pretty unique name. I've never found anyone in the US or the world that has the first name Richard and the last name Kraneis. So that means that it's pretty easy to find me on the internet, and your LinkedIn inquiries are welcomed. Most importantly, have a great day. Thanks for visiting, and I sincerely wish and hope that you pass the PMP. Best wishes. Take care.